Alright, today we're replacing the power steering air conditioning belt on this 1999 Mitsubishi Mirage. Customer came in, the power steering wasn't working and the air conditioning wasn't working, and once we opened the hood we saw the belt was actually missing. So we got our new belt from autopartsdirecttoyou.com, and we're just going to put it on there real quick and make sure it's good to go, and it should be a quick and easy fix. And you only need a couple tools for this job. You need a ratchet with a 14mm socket and then a 14mm wrench. To start out, the adjuster on this belt is actually the power steering pump, which is right here. So what we have to do is there's 3 bolts we need to break loose. 2 of them are behind this pulley, and if you can see there's a hole, well there's 4 holes actually in front of the pulley here, which those are there to allow access to the bolts. So you just turn it, line up the hole, take your ratchet with your 14mm, get it on there, and then break loose the bolt. Get that a little bit loose. You don't have to take it all the way out. There's one more down on the bottom. That one was already kind of loose. Break that one loose. Now the third bolt is right back here on the back of the pump. You break that loose. Now that all 3 of those are loose, we can go ahead and loosen up the tension. There's no belt tension on it right now, but we need to loosen it. You can see here the pulley moves. The tension adjuster is actually right down here where the wrench is. Now without tension on it, I should be able to turn that by hand. And I'm just going to loosen it up quite a bit so that the new belt will fall right on. And you'll see the pump moving in as I loosen it. Okay, we'll see if that's enough. Now the new belt, all you have to do is line it up over the pulleys. We'll start with the hardest to get to, which is the crankshaft, way down here. Just kind of, you have to reach down there, get that lined up. At the same time, while my hands are down there, I will get it on that air conditioning compressor. And then last is the power steering. I didn't quite loosen the tensioner enough, so I loosened that some more. There. Belt is on. Make sure it's in all the grooves. You see on the pulley up top here, I was sitting on the pulley flush. Just look at the other 2 and make sure it's doing the same, which it is. So now at this point we're okay to retighten it. A little time-saving trick is if you pull out on the adjuster, or I'm sorry, the pump, you can turn the adjuster by hand again. It'll save you time from having to get a wrench on there and turning it a little bit at a time. And just get it as tight as you can by hand by pulling out and then tightening the adjuster. That's about all I can do. Now we'll get our wrench on there. I have a gear wrench. You just want to tighten her up. As you're tightening, just occasionally feel the tightness of the belt. You don't want it to be too tight. Should have about a ½ inch of movement on the belt. Now that varies depending on the space between the pulley, and if you have any questions, they do make they're called belt deflection gauges, where you can verify that the belt is the correct tightness. But generally if you get about a ½ inch of play up and down between 2 pulleys, you should be good. That feels tight enough for now. A lot of times on these non-self-adjusting belts, as they break in, they will actually loosen up as the belt stretches. So they do often need some readjustment. Usually about 100 miles or so after you replace the belts. So now we're going to go ahead and tighten the 3 bolts. Our 3 bolts are tight, belt is tight, and we are done. I'm going to start it up, make sure it's good, and if it squeals at all, just go back and retighten a little bit. And other than that, we are all set. Just keep autopartsdirecttoyou.com in mind next time you need some parts. You can find just about anything from belts to major internal engine parts.